Hey everybody, this is Wicked of Wicked Gaming, and today we are going to destroy a vault. And we're going to do it on the cheap. We're going to destroy a vault without heavy hitting and expensive methods like explosives or god avatars. And this method is super cheap, and if you're using 3 or more people to assist you, the time required is on par or even faster than using explosives. This cheat method is also going to show you why you should not leave vaults out in the open, like the vault you see behind me. So a lot of people are under the assumption that a vault must be destroyed with explosives or gods, and thus they leave their vaults out in the open and unprotected like this. Now the reason people do this is because they assume that vaults can only be destroyed with explosives or gods, and that there's no other way to do it, and thus there's no reason to put a vault inside a structure. For example, their thinking is usually along the lines of, well, if someone has enough explosives to destroy my vault, then they surely have enough explosives to also get inside the structure that is housing my vault, so there's really no reason to protect the vault inside a structure. And so they just leave it outside somewhere. These people are wrong, dead wrong, oh so wrong. So don't leave your vaults out in the open like this, like the one you see behind me. It's just begging for someone to take all your stuff. So, well, how do we do it? How do we get inside a vault on the cheap? Well, I'm about to show you, so let's just jump right in. So this is how you do it. Grease orbs. It's really this simple. What you do with grease orbs, when you throw them, you hit right click. Now, if you hit left click, they bounce, and then they'll detonate somewhere. But if you throw with the right click, they'll detonate on the spot. And what it does is it puts down a little bit of grease, and if you ignite that grease, it creates a damage over time point. Now the grease will actually despawn in roughly 30 seconds. And each grease spot, once you ignite it, it does roughly 43 damage per second. I've actually logged this and timed it. And so you see the one on the left just despawned. Well, if you put down multiple greases in the same spot and then ignite it, it stacks. Every stack is going to do roughly 43 damage per second once you ignite it. And so that's what you do. You just coat this vault in grease. Then you ignite it. Now, like I said, the grease starts despawning after 30 seconds. So you're only going to be able to get roughly 14 or 15 stacks on the vault before the first one starts despawning. And so it's basically what you do. You just stack this vault with roughly 14 or 15 stacks of grease. Then you ignite it with a demon fire orb. And then you just sit back, in every 25, I usually set a timer, roughly 25 seconds, I re-update that fire with one single grease orb. And I'll show you how this works. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to go ahead and do 15 stacks of grease, and you can even go on the same spot. You don't have to like coat it in different spots. Oops. And the changeover, when you use 110 stack, it really helps to pay attention. Like, don't do what I just did. Pay attention and make sure you're switching over fairly quickly. Okay, so I got 15 stacks. Now I'm going to light it with the demon fire orb. Boom, that's it. And so, like I said, it's easier if you have a timer somewhere, a repeat timer, and I usually set my timer for 25 seconds just to make sure I'm not getting too close to 30 seconds. I don't want it to go out like that. So I just re-up it. Every 25 seconds, throw one more grease orb on to the vault to reignite the fire. If it goes out, you have to start over from the beginning with putting another 14 or 15 stack, reignite it. And so it's just going to waste, you're going to waste grease orbs if you let it go out. So here, we're going to hit it again. My timer was up. And you can see this thing, it ticks down pretty fast. So I'm already at 550. Now, I am only one person. If you have multiple people with you, they can put more stacks on, and you'll have much faster damage over time. And so that's what you do. You just do it until the vault is destroyed. Now with one person, just myself, it took me roughly 15 to 17 minutes to destroy a vault. The more people that you have that put on initial stacks, the faster the vault will be destroyed. So let's do a recap here. With the grease orb method, working by myself, I was able to destroy one vault in 16.5 minutes. Now, if you do have more than one person, like 3 people in that instance, it took us 6.5 minutes to bring down the vault. The more people you have, the more initial stacks of grease that you can put on before you set it on fire, the more damage you'll do over time. So yeah, you definitely want to try to do this with multiple people, and you can bring it down faster. Now, with the explosives method, just me working by myself, it was 11 minutes. I'd used 64 explosives. Now, working by myself, doing the grease orb method, I used 55 grease orbs and 1 demon fire orb. And that was it. Now, the explosives are very expensive. If you look at the material cost, using a tier 3 alchemist, the most expensive components of explosives are your steel fire and your crystal. Demon blood's actually pretty easy to get, but it's the steel fire cost and the crystal cost that makes explosives so expensive. Now with 64 explosives, I used 4,800 steel fire and 2,368 crystals. That's a lot. Now with the grease orb method, using 55 grease orbs, my material cost was just, for each grease orb, it's 3 glass, 1 ichor, 3 tar. So for 55 grease orbs, my material cost was 165 glass, 55 ichor, 165 tar. That is very, very cheap. So that's how you do this, folks. 1 demon fire orb, 55 grease orbs, 16.5 minutes, you're inside a vault. Easy, easy thing to do. Very cheap. And it shows you why you don't want to leave vaults in the open like this, because it's very easy to take them down. It's super cheap, and it doesn't take that much time for even one person to do this. 3 people, you're in a vault in 6.5 minutes. So anyway, if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe and check back more often. We'll be doing more tutorial videos for Conan Exiles in the future. See ya.